Okay. How did you think that went? Happy with it?
Yeah, I think it went well. I feel like I got a bit too passionate about some of the accounting softwares and stuff. I
No,
don't know
it's
what
good.
came over me, to be honest.
It shows your true passion for accountancy.
It wasn't me, it was Patricia.
Patricia?
Have you not watched that split with what's his face? Oh, this is what I need Google for. What's his face? The what's his name? Google Split, the
Oh.
film. He's
Oh,
what's his
um, not Fight Club.
Fight Club?
That's not Patricia, is it? Oh no, Patricia.
No.
That's James McAvoy, isn't it?
Yes, him. I was like, it's like a Scottish surname.
Ah, no, I've
Yeah,
not seen that one.
he's like different personalities. Don't want to spoil it, but he goes, "That wasn't me. That was Patricia."
Ah, okay, fair enough. Um, cool. Yeah, I mean, it's good to be clued up on the accounting software bits, and obviously it makes for interesting listeners for those that could be interested in what software to have. So now people might be like, "Oh, we'll go to Zero because Brodie said Zero is the best."
Yeah, maybe. Oh my God, is it too late to say a Zero sponsor me? Can I ask to be sponsored?
We can try. I can snip this as a magic clip, and we can put it out there.
Zero sponsor me, please. I'm your biggest fan.
That is going to be one of the magic clips now. I feel like it should be. Um, Good. No, I think we got through the show quite well, and it was a slightly twist on my usual show because, like I said, like as I pointed out, I couldn't really say my usual things because they don't apply.
No, maybe I need to
Not
start
yet.
a business to. Well, it's going to be Cook dot online.
Look,
I don't know
online.
what I'm going to
It's,
do, but
well, quite clearly, you're going to do some form of accounting.
oh yeah, yeah, obviously.
Yeah, obs.
Obs.
Um, yeah, tax returns and stuff, and other stuff. Maybe a little sprinkling of bookkeeping on the side.
Oh, don't know about that. It's a bit much.
No, a little bit. Good. So yes, all right. Let's talk about music then, because people are now like, oh, what are they going to talk about with music wise? So the other day you went to a gig.
I did.
That was a corporate benefit. I hope you paid tax on that.
It wasn't a corporate benefit, actually.
Ah, whoops. Okay, so who was that? Seat Parkway Drive, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Now
yeah.
I hadn't
Not my
heard of them
usual
before.
type of music.
No, they are. I thought they were okay. One their latest album that I was listening to the other day had very much early noughties new metal vibes, which, as listeners of the show will know, is my jam. But the problem with it was it also had that kind of death metal kind of twinge to it, and what it is with that death metal is I don't like the guitar noise.
That's the noise you don't like. I don't like them screaming at me.
Oh, I don't mind that bit. It's the whole guitar thing. It's the whole it's like I don't know. It's kind of melodic. It's like I can't really describe it.
What, like the guitar solos where it's like new new new?
Yeah, yeah. It's the solos. It's not the chug 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 chug. It's the like that.
That is the softest heavy metal I've ever heard. Do 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 do
Thanks.
do 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 do.
Ad libbing. Couldn't think of a particular song.
Uh,
It's a bit like I mean I don't mind Avenged Sevenfold too much. They are on the cusp of where it comes to the melodic, annoying sound. Um,
yeah.
but yeah, I do like it a good chug 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 chug. Jim
I
Carrey's
just
into that.
personally am like, and I'm interested in this. I want to ask you some questions. How do you get into that sort of music? Like, I was sat at this gig, sitting down. I know, guys, I didn't want to be in the mosh pit. Um, but all I was thinking is, how do you decide that you like this sort of music where you can't really like understand the words, there's no like feeling in it? And furthermore, what makes you wake up one day and decide that you want to run around in a circle slapping yourself against other people? Like, I don't understand mosh pits.
Yeah, no, I'm never really one for mosh pits. I don't know why. I suppose they get some form of kick out of it. It's like perhaps people who are into mosh pits could let us know. Uh, Rad, what is it? Radmin underscore assist on Instagram. DM me. But uh, the whole music thing, I think you kind of fall into it, don't you? I think like one day Spotify just throws a random song at you. Once you finish listening to, Linkin Park's Hybrid Theory, when it goes into like auto mode, when it throws songs at you that you think it
Like
thinks
the
you like,
gateway songs.
yeah, it kind of like gives you a song, and you're a bit like, oh, okay. Like I was listening to them because you said, oh, I went to a gig last night, and it was this person. I was like, oh, never heard of them, but I'll give them a listen. And so I just ended up on their page on Spotify, played their top 5 songs, and then I was like, the first song I was like, ooh, it's okay, but no. Song 2, I was like, ooh, no, no, no. Song 3, I was like, okay, this is all right. And then I thought, I've got some like not like heavy work to do later on, deep work. That's what we'll call it, deep focus work. I need something in the background, so I listened to the album of the song that I liked, and so then I was like, okay. And now they crop up in my feed
They're
occasionally
like,
on my
oh,
daily
you
mix.
like this? We'll sprinkle a little bit more in for you.
Yeah, see, and that's how you end. Then you end up. Oh yeah, I love this album. I'm going to buy tickets to their show.
When they're next in the UK.
Well, I don't think I would actually go to the show. That was like a more like a broad statement rather than particularly about Parkway Drive.
Do you know whose show I am going to? And this is a bit out of left field for me. So, everyone in Australia is weirdly into country music. And I've always been like, no, no, I'm not really a country girl. A bit of old school Taylor Swift, a bit of Carrie Underwood maybe, but nothing too extreme. I booked tickets to see Luke Combs yesterday.
I don't know who he is.
He is a big country. I mean, he's a big country guy, but he's also a big country guy. And
Oh, okay.
we've been listening to a few songs recently. My boyfriend was like, oh, if he's ever here, I'd like to go see him. And then I saw a link to pre-sale tickets yesterday. So I was like, do you know what? I'm going to book him. So go into
Nice.
that. So I'll be rocking my cowboy boots, cowboy hat. What do you wear to these kind of gigs?
Don't know, like plaid shirt or something.
Maybe. I don't have one.
Um, you could always cut some jeans off for the old Daisy Dukes.
I could, or just buy some. I've only got one pair of jeans out here.
Yeah, okay. Well, yeah, what with wearing boardies all the time, I don't suppose you need jeans.
Yeah, my boardies and my thongs
Yeah.
and my singlet.
um,
Do you know what a singlet is?
that's a vest, isn't it?
It is, but why not just call it a vest?
I don't know. They are strange beasts, aren't they?
I don't want to comment. I'm surrounded.
Yeah, of course. You're in the heart of it. What I found was really strange when I was over there is like they all get up, like the locals, obviously not the people who've moved there. They all get up at like ridiculously early in the morning, go off and like surf and stuff, and then go to work and then come home. But then they have to go to bed early because at like 9 o'clock because they've been up so early.
Yeah, like I'm definitely more of a night owl than an early bird. Like you could not drag me out of bed if the house was on fire in the morning. Well, you might not be able to anyway if I'm over the weight limit. But yeah, I can't get up in the morning. But then in the evenings, like everyone's like, oh no, I've got to be in bed by 9. Like,
Mm.
what is this? Are you a night owl? Morning bird? Morning bird? What's the opposite of a night owl? Early
A
bird.
night owl, early bird. That's it. I fluctuate between the two. Depends on the mood. I mean, sometimes I like to go to bed like between 9 and 10. But then I get up around 6 ish, between 6 and 7. But it's like I've been in the past. I've had it where I can't go to bed early, and then I get up later in the morning. And then I've had it when I've been going to bed at. I've done the old Australian thing, gone to bed at 9, but I've been up at 5.
No,
Um,
not for
I can't.
me.
I don't know if I've worked out which one's better suited to me.
You're meant to have like I've been sorry to drop another podcast. I'm not going to name it, but I've been listening to this podcast recently, and it's about like sleeping and stuff like that. And it's if you're
Hmm.
not getting enough sleep, then you sort of like owe yourself a certain amount of sleep, and that's just going to get worse and worse and worse. And I can't remember what they call it, like a sleep. I don't know. I haven't been listening to this podcast very well,
No.
clearly, but
So like
it's
a
like
sleep debt.
yes, yes, it is sleep debt. And
That is
unless you try and
crazy.
repay that, then it's just going to build up and build up. And you can never function until you're sort of like getting the right amount of sleep.
So all those years in your 20s, when you go to bed on a Friday and a Saturday night at like 4 o'clock in the morning, and
Yep.
then you get up at like 9 because you feel sick still and stuff like that, you're
Mm.
supposed to build. So you could like end up in your like your mid to late 40s and still owe your sleep debt.
Yep. Which is why we need nana naps in the afternoon, I reckon.
I do. Albert Einstein used to work off power naps.
Call them nana
Apparently,
naps.
so did Margaret Thatcher, and I think Winston Churchill did too.
So it's the way forward, is what we're saying.
Yeah, power naps is the way forward, I think. But you got to be careful because if you go over like the threshold of the power nap, then you end up going into your deep sleep, and then you wake up, and then you feel really bad.
Yeah, like this podcast also says about something called a nappuccino. So you're meant to have a coffee, go to sleep within 5 minutes, and then not sleep more than half an hour. And it's like a little
How can
nappuccino, and you feel energized after.
okay? How can you get? How do you know that you got to sleep within 5 minutes though?
I don't know. I've never tried it.
Because if you like set a timer or something for 5 minutes, and you did achieve to go to sleep, then the timer's going to wake you up.
I guess, people have like on the watches, like it says when you go to sleep and stuff like that.
Okay, so when you wake up no longer than half an hour afterwards,
Yeah,
then you're like, did I get to sleep within 5 minutes? And check
yeah.
your watch then.
And if you didn't, go again. Keep going until you hit it.
Keep going. So all day you've slept, and then you're like, I can't sleep at night, and then you have a sleep debt.
So we need to repay our sleep debts.
Oh, yeah. No, I don't like the sound of this. Actually, I've got something for you based on the back of this. The other day, I was watching a reel on Instagram, and as I've seen a few conspiracy theories on Instagram about that we live in a simulation.
Hmm.
Basically, there's too much evidence that we don't live in a simulation. There's too much evidence to say that the fact that we don't live in a simulation means that we do live in a simulation. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so and then we can't work out why we live in a simulation. But apparently, and I don't know if this is true, don't come at me because I've not fact checked this. I just saw it on an Instagram reel, okay? And if people want it, message me and I will forward it. But this guy has researched it, and apparently, in somehow, they are using like little brain cells that they have cloned and then making, and those little brain cells are allowed to grow a little bit. And so it's unethical because apparently the little brain cells
Oh,
do
like human
are kind of
life.
are like semi-conscious. It's the kind of whole fetus argument.
Yeah.
Um, so it's a little bit unethical. But apparently, what they do with these little brain cells is they use them for artificial intelligence
Don't. That
as like
scares
a
me.
as a collective, yeah. And so um when they're not being used, they're allowed to live their life in inverted commas for listeners. And so apparently they fly around this like little computer screen thinking they're butterflies. So what if we are all the brain cells and we are just living our lives thinking, oh, this is great. Off I go to work, off I go to pay my bills. Government's fantastic. Here, have some of my money. And then when we're asleep, that's because we're being used for the AI stuff.
You are going to get me in more sleep debt because I'm now not going to sleep.
You, perhaps you don't have a choice. Perhaps that's why sometimes we're so tired that we have to sleep on the sofa and stuff, or fall asleep on the train or whatever.
Because the AI needs us.
Because our brain is having to be used for some AI stuff.
Someone put it into Chat GPT, like, oh, what season looks best on me? Like, cool spring.
Yeah, and there it is, just like connecting all the sleepy people, and maybe on the back of that again, maybe what if you can't when sometimes you can't get to sleep, it's because the AI servers are full.
Honestly, I love this. For anyone who is just joining, me and Richard love a conspiracy theory.
Do you love a
Like, I think
conspiracy
the
theory?
last time we saw each other before I came back to Australia, we spent about 40 minutes talking about conspiracy theories.
Did I mention Avril Lavigne to you when I
Yes,
last
you
saw you?
did.
Okay, so there's a conspiracy theory for those who don't know that Avril Lavigne died and she was replaced with her lookalike that was like a paparazzi decoy called Melissa. And so there's a girl on Instagram who has these divining rods. And she said, so there's a video going around at the moment. It's like, did Avril Lavigne die? And then the rods go whoop, like that. She goes, no, thank you. And then she says, was Avril Lavigne replaced by Melissa? And it's like, whoop. And she's like, yes, thank you. But then it cuts off. So I'm going to have to find more of it. So maybe the real Avril Lavigne, and let's face it, she did change.
She did
Um,
change.
and I can't decide. I wasn't really a fan way back when. I didn't like Skater Boy and Complicated and stuff like that. I thought it was rubbish.
Oh, she
But
had
some
better
of her,
songs than that, Richard.
of course, she did. So some of her like mid 2000s stuff, after Melissa took over, potentially. Don't sue me, anyone, please. Um, were much better. What was that? Girlfriend. That was a good song, wasn't it?
Yeah. I like What the
Uh,
Hell.
I'm not sure I've heard that one, but I will check it out on Spotify afterwards. Um, So yeah, maybe she did. And so these divining rods apparently have given us the answer. I can't remember the girl's name that does the divining rods on, but she is on Instagram and she does lots of
I
different
thought the
ones.
rods like that, I thought they were for detecting water.
I think they are, but at the same time you can ask questions. But I love the
Well,
way
you
she
can
says
ask
thank you
anything
every
a
time.
question. I could go, I don't know, AirPod case. Stay shut if Avril Lavigne was replaced by a lookalike. Oh my God.
Here it is on the Rad-Ventures after
You
show.
heard it here
The the
first.
the AirPods case said so. um, cool. So back to music then. What type of music do you listen to then if it's not Parkway Drive and Avril Lavigne? Old country.
Not as much country. I would say probably like British indie rock. That would be like my jam. Like,
Are you
when you go into a pub beer garden and they're playing certain songs, I think that is my vibe. But I know everyone says, oh, I'll listen to anything. But genuinely, like, my top songs of 2023 and stuff, it's such a mixture. I'm weirdly into Paolo Nutini this year, though. I think Candy is going to be my top song.
did you get Oasis tickets?
I didn't. Did you? Did you?
No,
Oh.
no. I didn't want any.
Oh, yeah, to be honest, like it seems like a lot of money. And if it's not the first show, the likelihood is one of them's going to thump the other one on stage and is all going to get cancelled anyway.
Did you see that? Was that Bullet for My Valentine? Was that them? That happened last week where the singer punched the guitarist and they cancelled the whole show?
Oh, I didn't see that, did they?
I think it was Bullet for My Valentine. I can't remember. Hang on. Let me just Google
Fact
fact
check.
check that because I don't want to get in trouble. It's bad enough that Oasis might come after me. Um, I don't want you know, anyone else coming after me.
Is this a new
Uh,
segment called Richard's Fake News or
yeah, Richard's fake news. So yeah, Donald Trump is prime minister. Not prime minister,
Prime
president, isn't it?
Minister? I mean,
Yeah.
very fake news.
Band singer punches guitarist. Hopefully that'll come up first. Come on, BBC. Oh, Jane's Addiction it was, sorry, not Bullet for My Valentine. Jane's Addiction.
Richard's Fake News.
Yeah, Perry Farrell punched guitarist Dave Navarro on stage. So yeah, I take it back. Bullet for My Valentine. Do apologise. It was Jane's Addiction. But yeah, I mean, it's just basically a precursor for the Oasis gig, isn't it?
Yeah, like, have you seen the X Factor thing where it's the two sisters, and as they're walking off stage, she like thumps her sister with the microphone? Oh my God,
No.
you would love it. But I keep seeing like memes where it's like, this will be Liam and Noel after the first show, and then everything will get
Yeah,
cancelled.
I don't know why they've come back because apparently they got loads of money. So, and I think
Well,
one
I
time,
heard, and this might be Brodie's fake news, that
uh
one of them, can't remember which one of them's getting divorced, and apparently his soon to be ex wife is taking him for a lot of money. So maybe that's the reason why.
oh, as a as a chartered accountant, Bobby, give us your advice for if you're getting divorced. No, I'm joking.
Don't get married in the first place.
Oh, controversial. No, I suppose don't get married, you can't get divorced.
Exactly.
Of course, though, if you are cohabiting with someone, there is a talata thing. That's the word for it when you talata separation.
Yep.
But yeah, anyway, there you go. So cool. I think that's a great place to end our show. Unfortunately, I could talk to you all day, but have got some other work to do. Unless Zero obviously
Boo.
send us some money for this episode.
Yeah, sponsor
Um,
us. We love you.
right, no, you get me in trouble with the producer for mentioning sponsorship too much. So we'll knock that on the head right now. All right, so thank you for joining me in not only the proper episode where we talk about your career journey, but also secondly for the after show where we learn a little bit more about Brodie. So thank you. Now
Thank
don't go
you.
anywhere because once I hit stop recording, I then need to grab the upload. Okay, so don't like leave the call or anything. Okay,
Okay.
cool.